do I need planning permission for my home extension? Well, that'll depend on the question, really. So do I need planning permission for my extension? There are parameters when it comes to building. Okay, so in the UK, we've got what we call building regulations. People don't believe that that is actually a planning enforcement kind of thing, right? You have to build to a regulation. That is a standard that Britain has actually enforced. So that is a sort of way of permission, if you want. You can't just build it and expect it to be signed off, because therefore it might not be deemed mortgageable if it's not built to British standard. So really, in short, do I need planning permission? To a degree, yeah. But do I need planning permission before I build? Well, now that'll depend on the type of extension. So if we're just going to get, let's put a scenario here. We've got a detached 3-4 bedroom house in a rural area, and we want to stick a single-storey rear extension on. Now we're in 2024, and we're embarking on early 2025. And currently the planning allows us to build under permitted development that rear extension with zero planning permission at the start of the build. However, we must get building regulations. So therefore there must be a specification, there must be a design, because we can't just put that building on nothing, no foundations, because again, how would a mortgage company give you the lending to revalue that home at the back end if it's not built to a standard? So the standard is actually the authority come out and check the standard that you've actually built to. And that's your building control officers. Now you can get private or you can get public sector. It doesn't really matter. They're both going to do the same job. And what they're there to do is to inspect that the quality of work is to the specification designed. Now, if it comes to a rear story single extension, for example, well, that's very simple in terms of a bias from Mars to say, right? But it's very easy to create the specification for it. However, our recommendation to you is that you get a professional just to design this. It's simple, okay? It's really not that expensive. If it's going to be a rear story, single story extension at that, call it a brick finish, so a traditional build, block internal, brick finish with a cavity insulation. Your plans could get drawn up by a draftsman, maybe not necessarily an architect, but it still could be within 3 to 4 figures, depending on who you're instructing. We know young, eager draftsmen, maybe going through, their university degree. If they've got the backing of, say, a company, they could charge a lower end of the figure. It's a simple process for them, okay? But if you're going to go to an established architect, they might charge in the region of 4 figures for something such as that. It's building regulations drawings. Those are a simple specification type. So it will reference the excavation. That'll depend on a structural trial hole. So we need to see where the original, what the ground is like, the soil types. They're then looking at a footing detail. Okay, so that's the concrete that gets poured into that excavation, into the hole. We want to look then at what factors are going to be affected by that. That could be the soil. Soil could have a direct impact on what specification we use in terms of the footing, the concrete that we pour in the hole. And then again, the depth. It might need a piling. It might need a little strip footing. It could be something simple. But again, it's better to be safe than sorry. So whilst you don't necessarily need planning permission as such, it's better to get checked from a professional beforehand before just getting the builder in and start building.